Hello everybody and welcome out to another Dice Tower daily unboxing video. Today we're taking a look at Star Wars, the deck building game from Fantasy Flight Games. Game designer Caleb Grace. Caleb is a name that you might not be familiar with from the front of boxes, but he's done a ton of work on the Marvel Champions game. I only know that because of one Roy Canaday. So what's going on in the back of the box? The fate of the galaxy is in your hands. Get it? Get it? Get it? Deck building game. Cards go in your hand. Anyway, experience the epic strategic battles in Star Wars, the deck building game. Easy to learn. Reimagine the conflict between the Galactic Empire and the Rebel Alliance in a thrilling head-to-head gameplay. Recruit characters, collect bounties, use the Force, and destroy the enemy base. Over 50 unique cards. I've never heard that as like a selling point on a card game before. I've heard the opposite, where like, hey, there's only like 4 types of cards, and this deck of 50 cards literally only consists of 4 types of cards. A deck of playing cards has over 50 unique cards. Oh, anyway, look at me, just being me. So, those wells don't run very deep. But hey, folks, there's over 50 cards in this box. Okay, so there's a decent stack of cards over here. Let's take a look at the rulebook and see what's going on. Oh, look at these player colors. Purple and yellow. Maybe those aren't player colors. Maybe those are just like different resources or something. And there's one white, maybe like round tracker or force tracker or something. This rulebook is pretty thick, just looking at it, right? But it's also small. You can see the fate of the galaxy fits in my hand. But also there's like not a ton of information on each page. So what's kind of going on here? I'll set this down so that it's not shaking around too much. We'll zoom in. That's what we'll do. We'll do the zoom technique. 10 Empire cards, 10 Rebel cards, 90 Galaxy cards, 10 outer rim, 20 bases, 10 Rebel, 10 Empire, okay? And then you got the balance of the Force track, Force marker, resource counters, and then damage counters. Okay. Learn to play online. You'll notice for a Fantasy Flight game, a lot of times they'll do the tool rulebook thing. Maybe this is just, straightforward enough of a game. It's deck building. So maybe they just figured straightforward enough they could even just have only one rulebook. So set up here, starting cards in each player's hand. I'm going to guess Rebel Trooper, Stormtrooper are the same thing. Temple Guardian, Inquisitor are going to be the same things. Ooh, Inquisitors, that's kind of cool. Alliance Shuttle, Imperial Shuttle. So it seems like different names for probably some starting symmetry, but I'm going to guess that there's some asymmetry amongst the players and whatnot. So there you go. Oh, I've heard about this. I've heard that there are cards that are oriented different ways depending on if they go to your type of player, to your side or towards the other side. And so there's just Empire and Rebel cards in the middle. By the way, that's about all I know about the game. So core concepts. Deck building 101. I want to learn the ways of the Force by Luke Skywalker. He was referring to Dominion, of course. You and your opponent are going to start with a deck of 10 cards. You're going to be purchasing and adding to it. Cool. The balance of the Force. It is an energy field created by all living things. The balance of the Force can tip the scales between the Empire and the Rebels. During the game, various effects will cause the balance to shift different ways. If it's on the dark side spaces, then the Force is with the Empire player. If the Force is on the light side, it is with the Rebel player. And in the middle, it is not with either player. That's a fun mechanism. The Force is with me, one might say. Breakdown of cards. Hey, look at that. Super easy and useful. All the information seems to be there. Faction card, beginning of a turn. So what it's like taking a turn, play a card, purchase a card, use a card ability, commit to an attack, resolve an ability, or end your turn. All right, so a breakdown of those different things there. Winning the game. The first player to destroy 3 of their opponent's bases wins the game. The game immediately ends after a player's 3rd base is destroyed. No other cards or abilities are resolved. No other force, attack, or resources are used. Oh, good. And then some like terminology here explained. Good. Good. Just terminology. I always like that. What is the difference between destroy and discard? If. I like that. I like the definition of if being in your rule book. Prepare, reveal, when, while. Come on. The stuff like that is so important. So I hope that that's good. I hope that that ends up being a very thorough rule book. That'd be nice to know. So let's slice open some cards. I got a Wookiee. I got a Wookiee over here. Oh no, I bent my Wookiee. Simpsons reference. You got Chewbacca, that old scoundrel. You got Jyn Erso. Oh, they never met. Now they can. Hello, I'm Jyn Erso. You got the U-Wings. You got the Hammerhead Corvettes. So these are the bases, kind of Star Realms like sideways. You got Han Solo. You got Cassian Andor. The B-Wings. Ah, yes! B-Wings are my favorite Star Wars ship. They're just really cool. Leia, Mon Calamari Cruisers, the Millennium Falcon, Luke Skywalker. Okay, so here's the Empire side. TIE Fighters, Admiral Piet, the TIE Bomber. Golly, that's a good piece of artwork. Scout Trooper. Man, kids these days with their like, hey, look, I have a Star Wars game that actually looks awesome and probably like feels thematic and cool and stuff. TIE Interceptors. The Gazanti Cruiser. Nice, man. Like, they really are like digging into this stuff. Moff Jerjerrod. Yeah. General Veers. ATSTs. So cool. Landing Craft. Director Krennic. Boba Fett. He's a good guy now? I don't know. That's confusing. But anyway. Grand Moff Tarkin. There he is in the flesh. This is cool. Man, I really like the art. I really like the art style and the look of all these things here. I'm not going to slice open all of the cards, but, I mean, just looking at them. Oh, yeah, and the card backs, by the way, they all have the same Star Wars card back. These look really nice. I'm talking about that a lot because, well, one, there's not a lot of, like, components to talk about. It's all cards. I like the feel of the cards. They're not linen finished, right? They're just flat, but also they're pretty good, like the core that they're printed on. I'm liking it. They don't feel cheap or chintzy by any means, but inevitably, I feel like half the people watching this are going to just sleeve it anyway. Oh, that's cool. Keldor Mystic. So a lot of these are neutral cards. Lobot. A lot of these are just neutral cards, and they are not, they don't belong to a specific individual player. So you can kind of use, either player can use them and have them on their side. Dengar. Quarren Mercenary. Oh my gosh. If you enjoy like the ship lore and if you enjoy all the other stuff, IG-88, that guy's, don't mess with him. He's like Texas. He's like Space Texas. You don't mess with him. Jabba the Hutt. You can mess with him. That's all right. Baze Malbus. Oh, some of the... Okay, now we're getting back into like heroic cards. I was wondering about that. Snowspeeder. Duro's Spy. All right, I think that we're going to... I think we'll call that good here. Like I said, just taking a look at all the different cards. Obviously, there's more cards and everything. But... isn't there like a board? Oh, here we go. That's something worth taking a look at. If I can figure out how to open this. This looks tricky. There's not like a pull tab on this particular deck of cards. This is like a teeny little stack of cards. Like I'm not really sure why it didn't just come kind of packaged in with more other ones. But this also doesn't have like a lot of areas to slice it open. So you get to hear me talk about how there's not a lot of areas to slice this open. There we go. This is the Force Tracker, which is a folding card. It's just made out of a card material and everything like that. They did this with some of their Fantasy Flight, that being them, did this with like the Ant-Man card. Like it just feels like a regular card. Like if you just had this and you were going through a hand, like you wouldn't really think anything of it. But they had like Ant-Man folds into Giant Man and stuff. So that's kind of neat. So it is just a card. It folds down. So if you wanted to put this into a smaller box, because obviously you don't need all that dead space in there. Like you could fit all of this in like one or two little deck boxes, basically. So just more like general characters. Here's a quick reference. Turn sequence, quick reference of icons and terms and stuff. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. So that is just a quick and dirty look here inside of Star Wars, the deck building game from Fantasy Flight Games, designed by Caleb Grace. Thank you all for coming out to another Dice Tower daily unboxing video. Have yourselves a fantastic day.